All right, so I made it here. I'm going to show a little bit of how this parking lot here works. I'm in Augusta, Georgia right now. I forgot most of my stuff, so I don't have any backup battery or anything to help me out if I get a flat or anything. I have nothing. So that's unfortunate. So all my stuff's an hour away. Actually, it's longer than that because when I was coming here, I found there turned out to be a wreck on the highway on the other side of the road, not the side I was on, but the other side. But nevertheless, that means that going back is going to be more than an hour. Okay, so hopefully we want to see the system here. So let's take a look at the chart. I'm here. So hopefully we can figure out where we're going. Let's go over here and take a look at this other one. Okay, so I'm here, so it should work. Maybe. Guess it's best just to go find out. Now it doesn't want me to take this trail the whole way, I think. I think I got to turn off. Let's go down here and look. Yeah, I'm not sure what I can do, what I can't do here. This is totally new to me, so. Yeah, I don't really see a place for a bicycle. It looks like I can get across, but then does it block me, or is that just, let's go look. Well, it doesn't block me. So, all right, so let's get on this Augusta Canal. Got a river launch this way. Oh yeah, you can see the whole river over there. So this is diverted river, I guess. The main river is to my left. Hopefully we can pick up a little bit of this. I think I want to stop and make sure I'm recording. I'm not positive that I am. Yes, I am. Okay, good. I'm not sure how bad this river ends up being, but we'll just see how it works out. And you get on the other side here. Hello. I had the feeling that it was supposed to be mostly paved, although if you can see the road right now, it's just dirt, not mostly paved. And it's been raining all morning, so that's the reason there's some water puddles in different spots. I decided to come anyway because the last 2 days I've been trying to come and it's been raining or had extremely high winds and cold. So today it's supposed to be in the 60s eventually. It's in the 50s now. But it's supposed to get in the 60s, so I dressed for the 60s. So hopefully it'll get in the 60s soon. And I'll be less cold. Boat launch. I wonder what type of boat you have. It must be like a canoe. Because it's just stairs. Has to be a boat you could carry. Oh yeah, you can see it's pretty nice out there. Well, I'm excited to be here. And I assume I'm in the right spot because this looks kind of like a place to be. Hopefully this isn't, I mean, I'm not running across many people, although this is a work day, so I guess people are working. I hadn't seen a bicyclist yet. Seen a couple people walking. Now the wind's supposed to be blowing between 5 and 10 miles per hour, but it feels pretty calm. So I must be going in the direction of the wind in order for it to feel calm. Going back will be rough. So I need to keep an eye on my battery because that's where I'm going to, I don't have a spare. Hey. Normally I head out here with a spare, but like I said, I forgot all my tools and my spare battery, so I don't feel all that comfortable like I normally do. I normally feel kind of comfortable because I got tools in case almost any breakdown happens, and I can recover from a lot of different types of breakdowns. And then I have the spare battery to give me confidence in case I overuse my battery. But this time I don't even have that. So sad. Of course, probably most people don't have a spare battery when they travel, so it's just that it's my security blanket. Not having my security blanket is sad. Yeah, I'm still on dirt with a little bit of rocks here. So I'm kind of surprised. I didn't know it would be like this. Hey. So leaving Columbia County. The river is pretty shallow. I'm used to seeing the river at the bridge, and it looked like it was going to be a fairly thick, deep river, but it's pretty shallow through here. You can actually see I mean, you couldn't go through there with a decent sized boat. Now maybe on the right you could, but this has a dam, or a lock system anyway. Pedaling seems to be pretty easy at the moment, so I'm assuming we're going downhill. I can't tell that we're going downhill, but it might be like the other side where it's only like a 1 degree downhill. But I'll notice it going back. I didn't bring my Garmin either. That's another thing I don't have. When I go and leave things behind, I leave things behind. Everything is actually in my bag that I have on my back, normally have. On my back fender, but not today. pretty trail, though. Jeez. So I'm not sure why I thought this was supposed to be a paved trail. I just thought it was, for whatever reason. It's a wide trail. You could have a car at this point. But still, it's not paved. Today I'm trying out a new saddle. It's only a test, but it's a no-nose saddle that my physical therapist recommended me start using because of prostate issues that I have. He said this would be better for the prostate. I said, oh, I didn't know that the seat with a nose was bad for the prostate, but apparently it irritates it. So I'm trying not to irritate it at the moment. So I went and got me a no-nose seat, which just feels a little funny. But it's just because I'm not used to it. Hey, another bicycle rider. Yay. So that's a good thing. Hey there. For the most part today, we're just looking at riding around, looking at all the scenery, enjoying being outdoors. The only thing that we probably not going to be talking about is any bike-related activities. I don't expect to anyway. Just expect to have a little bit of fun. Looking at the scenery and seeing what's all here. Although yesterday I did have an interesting encounter with a cockroach. I would say that it's parts of it is kind of funny, some of it's dramatic. It had a weird ending, but yeah, these cockroaches here in South Carolina are different than some cockroaches in other places. They call these cockroaches palmetto bugs. I once asked, why do you call them that? And I was told because they're 4 times the size of a normal cockroach. So if you take your normal cockroach and make it 4 times larger, and then double that, you would get the idea of what type of cockroach I was facing earlier. Yeah, I don't keep my house clean. All that clean anyway. And by the size of this cockroach, he's been feasting for a while on the crumbs scattered throughout the house. Anyway, he was the trespasser in my house, and I, being the man of the house, had to take action to get rid of this intruder. However, just looking at him on the wall, looking back at me, gave the impression that he was saying, "Go ahead, make my day, punk." I kind of wanted to run to my next door neighbor to come help me out. She's 85, but she gets around better than I do, and I'm sure she would have no issue dealing with this monstrosity. I tossed out that idea, as I didn't want to show weakness. Therefore, my only option was to attack it and take it down. I swung at the cockroach and whacked it straight in the back. I knew it was probably squished underneath my hand, and I was worried about all the guts that would be staining the palm of my hand. I was thinking about how I was going to get rid of it, get it washed off my hands as soon as possible, and there was a nearby sink where I could do that. But then I realized I was in trouble as I lifted my hand, and all I saw was a perfectly formed, uninjured, but ticked off cockroach. My thought was, I'm going to need a bigger weapon. I've been collecting stuff for 60 years. And all that stuff is stored around my house somewhere. Too much stuff crammed in too small house for all of it. I don't have anything from my first 10 years of life because my mom decided one day to clean up all my stuff and give it away to charity. If it wasn't for that, I'd have 70 years of stuff crammed into my house. I'm saying all that just to give you a picture that if you wanted to walk from one end of my house to the other, you would need to be a bit coordinated, or you'd be knocking things off shelves and stepping on things in the pathway. Now, I've been living in my house for a while, and in normal circumstances, I've learned to avoid the potential hazards. However, trying to chase down and smack an enormous cockroach isn't a normal circumstance. I had made the first move, and now it was the cockroach's turn. I was a bit distracted as I was searching the room for a better weapon, and it attacked. It was on a wall about 6 feet high, and he decided to use that to his advantage, and he leaped right at me. My reflexes allowed me to dodge him, and he landed on the sink cabinet. I looked around the room trying to find the weapon I need and reached for my hairbrush. However, I decided it wasn't big enough for this guy and continued to look around as he ran by the mouthwash and into the several bottles of vitamins and supplements and disappeared from my view. Finally, I located my weapon. It was my back scrubber. It was about 2 feet long and had a brush on the end. I use it when I'm in a shower to scrub my back. My thought is I could get a lot of power on my swing with such a long weapon, although my accuracy would be diminished a little. I looked over at the sink and thought I saw movement behind the bottle of vitamin C. I reached out and moved the bottle, and the cockroach leaped behind the bottle of vitamin D. There was no stopping me as I swung and struck the bottle of vitamin D with my back scrubber. The bottle exploded, scattering contents all over the place and knocking the multivitamin bottle across the room and onto the floor. However, no cockroach was involved in this. A few seconds later, I spotted the cockroach as it headed behind the bottle of zinc. And I struck again, knocking the bottle of zinc into the sink. Kind of hard to say. Sink. Anyway, the cockroach continued running. And he ducked behind a basket holding a bunch of balls of soap that my sister gave me for Christmas one year. I reached out with my left hand and moved the basket, and he scampered under a used wash rag that was just tossed on the counter for no reason at all. I kept telling myself that I'm going to have to move that wash rag and put it in a dirty clothes basket for several weeks now. But just hadn't found the time to move it the 3 feet needed to reach the dirty clothes basket. I guess the cockroach was happy about that. I began beating the rag with my weapon several times, and then stopped, figuring that I probably smashed him by now, and I slowly picked up the rag, but there was no cockroach under the rag. I thought to myself, what does that mean? And it occurred to me, it must be attached to the rag. I panicked and tossed the washcloths on the floor and jumped back, ready to strike at any movement I saw. A shiver ran through me as I thought about whether the cockroach jumped off the rag and onto me at some point. For a few tense moments, I waited to see if something would move around the rag, or if I could feel something moving on me. Nothing happened. Then, about 4 feet from me, I see a cockroach running for the bedroom. As he enters the bedroom, he pauses a moment, and I'm thinking he's saying to me, "I'll be back." I shout out, "Oh no, you don't get to escape," and I run in a very limpy, staggering manner to catch up with the cockroach and jump on him with my foot before he could get away. I should have realized this a few seconds before I did. My bedroom is carpeted, and underneath the carpet is some nice foam padding. So when I lifted my foot, the slightly disheveled cockroach once again jumped in my direction. And just reflex caused me to lose my balance when I dodged him this time. To set the stage, behind me, from where I stomped on the cockroach, was my stereo system. And on the other side of the stereo system was the TV and the speakers. And besides those is my PlayStation system. You can imagine what happened as I fell into the stereo system and knocking it into the TV, which in turn falls on my PlayStation system. I caught myself before I hit the ground by grabbing onto the wall, but the damage had already been done, and that stupid cockroach returned to the bathroom, just as I had imagined earlier that he had said he would do. I'll be back. And he was. Now you might think this is the end of the story, and that I had lost the battle, and the cockroach had won. Well, he did get a knockdown, but he didn't get a knockout. I knew where he was. I hadn't really described this bathroom, but if you were thinking of a small bathroom, you would be totally incorrect. It was large enough to have a very spacious shower that has a built-in seat you could sit down on if you needed to. Of course, it has a toilet, but it also has two separate areas with mirrors, a sink, and a counter for each of them. Finally, it has the largest bathtub I've ever seen. If you wanted to have a hot bath, you would fill it up only halfway, and then have to wait about 15 minutes for the water heater to heat up. It's gas powered, so it heats up pretty quick, so that you would have enough water to fill up the rest of the tub. Kids use this tub like a swimming pool. So the bathroom is large for the size of house I'm in. This gives the cockroach a large area to hide in. Since we're in a truce at the moment, I spent some time putting everything that was knocked down or put out of place back in the correct locations. I then tested out the TV, PlayStation, and stereo to make sure they survived the ordeal, and everything was working just fine. I then went to the kitchen and got the bug bomb. This is an aerosol container that sprays poison in the air and kills everything that's a bug. I don't like using those things because it means you have to wipe or wash everything in the room. But I decided if there was one big cockroach in the bathroom, there might be others. So this morning, I found an extremely large cockroach lying on its back in the bathroom. I grabbed my shoe and smashed him about 30 times to make sure he was dead, and then flushed him down the toilet just in case he was still alive. Therefore, I think I won the war. But I don't know 100% sure if that was the same cockroach. And here I am now, riding on the trails, hoping I solved my problem. Don't really know, though. I like the way that we're kind of traveling between the two bodies of water. Kind of cool looking. I might have a better view than y'all do. Anyway, this looks like the second place that we could have stopped off at and seen. Maybe have a place to start. Let's see if they got big parking spots or anything here. Looks like a pumping station, water station, where they get water for the city of Augusta. Not many parking spots, a couple. Some bicycles. Woohoo. Like seeing those. Okay, let me see if I can come up with something else. Let's see, what did I do yesterday? Well, I know. Yesterday, I had to get on Facebook. It was a friend of mine's birthday. I'm not really a Facebook person. But once a year, I go on Facebook to wish a friend from high school and my next door neighbor a happy birthday. I've probably mentioned a few times by now. Don't remember. And that is that I have a memory that seems to forget a lot of stuff. I even got my own name for a few seconds once. I was like, Captain, I'm supposed to insert my name here. Reported as requested, sir. But since I didn't give a name, my commander says, "Are you Captain Kearney?" I go, "Oh, thanks. Thanks for giving me a hint." "Yes, sir. Captain Kearney, reporting as requested, sir." Embarrassing. Anyway, back to my Facebook issue. I attempted to open Facebook on my phone, but it needed to do an update. Wow, that's hard to say for me. So I let it do that while I was doing other things. Eventually, I got back, and Facebook appeared to have updated correctly. So, that's good. I opened Facebook and tried to log on, and Facebook was like, who are you, really? And I'm like, I'm Richard Kearney. Do I have permission to log in? And Facebook replies, no, you do not have. I haven't seen you in so long. I need for you to verify you are who you say you are. I'm thinking, oh my God, this computer is going to ask me some simple questions that I have no idea what the answer is. Such as, what street did you live on when you were a junior in college? Like I would remember that. Can't remember what I ate yesterday. And you're supposed to remember what street I lived on when I was a junior in college? I'm obviously panicking, wishing my mom was still alive so I could ask her. She might not remember right off, but she was organized. And she had everything written down somewhere. Well, it turns out that this test that it has prepared for me was a test where I needed to duplicate the sequence of numbers it sent to my phone number. So, duplicating the sequence of numbers, that didn't sound so bad. So, that's a test I could pass. Having passed the test, it says, you are indeed Richard Kearney. Or maybe just somebody who has his phone, but anyway. I said, thank you very much. Now give me access to Facebook. It answers, not so fast, my friend. You need to create a new password because we like messing with you every now and then. Oh, and by the way, if you're going to use your password, it can't be the password you just had. And you have to follow the new password rules. It has to be a minimum of 6 characters. and one character has to be a capital letter. You need to have one lowercase letter and at least one number. In addition, you need to have one of the approved special characters. That didn't seem to be too complicated, except for the special character. I use the pound sign most of the time when it asks me about using a special character, but sometimes the pound sign is banned. And you can't use the pound sign, you gotta find something else, like a dollar sign. Fortunately, this time, it liked the pound sign, so I didn't have to come up with any other ideas. So finally, I'm in Facebook. However, it's been a year, and I don't remember what to do. I feel around seeing if the person just shows up on my phone home page. But after scrolling for 5 minutes, I was tired of looking at people's Facebook posts. That's just not my idea of fun. So I phoned a friend. She says I should click on the magnifying glass and type in the name of the person I was looking for. I did that, and the birthday girl's name showed up. However, I wasn't sure what to do next. The last time I thought I found a section where everybody was wishing her a happy birthday, and I just chimed in along with the rest of them. Like with a ditto. Eventually, I found a section I could post in, but I didn't find the section where everybody was wishing a happy birthday. So I just typed in happy birthday in that post area. And maybe I was just happened to be the first person to wish her a happy birthday that day. And then I closed the app. About an hour, maybe 2 hours later, I was thinking maybe other people have wished her happy birthday now, and I wanted to see what would show up. So I found her page again and couldn't even find the post I made earlier. I don't know what happened to them. While searching to find the post, I ended up finding a spot where I had 389 notifications. I was wondering what I was being notified about, so I clicked on one of them clicked on it, and it brought up all the notifications. Well, in the list of notifications was one that said that I should wish happy birthday to the happy birthday girl. I clicked on that and was taken to an area where a lot of people had typed happy birthday. Sometimes with emotes like party balloons or cakes with candles on them. Hey there. Since I'd already wished her a happy birthday in some other area, maybe it wasn't even hers. Or at least I tried to. So I decided to leave the following message for her. I typed all of this in. I'm not used to Facebook, so I didn't use the proper location for a happy birthday wish. However, I'm here now, so happy birthday. And just in case, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy birthday. And thus ended my Facebook adventure for another year. Okay, too many of y'all don't like my stories, so we'll end story time now. No more stories. We'll just enjoy the scenery and just ride along. I'll try to be quiet even. Yeah, may not happen though, but I'll try. Well, this is interesting, but it's not where I wanted to go. It's probably time for me to turn around and go back. Anyway, let me ride up to the top of this hill, see what's on the other side. Then it'll be time to turn around, start back. I can already tell I got a little bit of fatigue with this part of my route up to this point. Mainly just because I'm not used to riding longer distances. It's not that it's hard, because it's not hard. I love this little trail here next to the road. But I wanted to continue to be somewhere close to the river, so let's turn around. And get back on the river. The good part about this is the fact that all the mud and water I don't have to worry about now. And I think I'll stop here a second and check to see how I'm doing as far as battery power. Couldn't tell without pushing a button. I'm afraid to push a button because it might just turn it off or set something weird into motion. So guess we'll just go until battery ends. This route looks more like a route that you would take if you were going to go through a neighborhood grouping. So this probably takes me out to a neighborhood area. But when I was looking on things on the internet, on a path, I don't believe I ever went away from the river. So this is a different path, not one that I was planning on being on. You can do a lot of coasting. You can get faster in coasting. It's cold underneath the bridge. I guess it's getting warmer, although I can't really tell. Hey, good afternoon. All right, so what I want to do is head down this way a little bit further. No, wait, do I want to? Yeah, let's go ahead. Hey. Yeah, I get all this muddy. We're back to the mud. But kind of like, what do we expect? What do we expect? Been raining all day, all yesterday. And up until about an hour ago. Well, maybe an hour and a half now. I think we'll take this up to the top of this hill and then head back home. Now the seat I had is First time I've taken a long distance ride with it. When I first put it on, I rode around the block a couple of times just to see if I could sit on it and if it would collapse or not. And yeah, it did just fine. It was a little awkward to sit on, but still it worked. So this is testing it a little bit further than I've ever tested it. This might be interesting up ahead. Maybe I'll coast down to this area to see what it's going to be like. Mud. Gonna have to wash my bike when I get home. And I just wanted to run up to this gate here. It looks like they're actually blocking me, doesn't it? Wonder why. Okay. Interesting looking building over there. Well, it looks like I can go through here. There's a opening in the bridge. I didn't see originally, but now that I'm here, I can see an opening. But I was ready to turn around anyway, so let's just turn around. Could go up there and see this building though, but nah. Not that important for me. Yeah, we're picking up the pace a little bit just because of battery and the GoPro. We lost one, so we're probably about 5 minutes from losing the other. So I just decided to speed up and get through part of this towards the end. So I don't know how much time we got left for sure, but I'm expecting 5 minutes. And we're probably 10 minutes from the starting point. So. I figure the speed limit's probably 15. Most of these trails it is, so I'm trying to get closer to that speed. Right now I'm going 14.7. That's assuming you can trust my speedometer, which you can't. So I'm probably going 14 or 13 even. Yeah, it's been a couple hours since the rain came, and still there's puddles. So apparently some of the puddles don't want to go away very quickly. Sun's out now though, so that's something. I'm sure we're in the 60s now.